Let's rock and roll.
This video is all about my number one love, organization. Let me provide some backstory. So I am a Buddhist, and every Sunday I go to a Buddhist temple where we have this youth group. And in this youth group, we do a bunch of activities. At the temple, we have a room. In this room, we have closets lined against a wall. And in those closets houses basically all of the supplies that we need for any activity that you could think of. I've organized this closet before, but somehow it always ends up a mess. So in today's video, I'm going to clean out and reorganize all of the closets and to give you helpful tips on the best way to organize. So this is what the closet looks like beforehand. I did some slight organization beforehand, but still not the best. The first step to reorganizing this closet is to clean everything out. Not only is this closet messy, but it's also very dirty. So I want to start off by pulling everything out of the closet. Why is there toilet paper? So I took out everything, and now I'm going to go back in and vacuum, sweep, and wipe down all the surfaces. God damn, I forgot that. Okay, I'm gonna take those out too. Oh my god, that's quite dirty. Step 2 is to contain everything. Like I said, I already organized this closet before, so most of the supplies already have containers, but I found that we either didn't have enough containers, or the containers that we did have, it didn't really work well in containing the type of supplies it was holding. Choosing the right container is essential to any type of organization. So there are a couple of things you need to think about when you choose a type of container that you want. Number 1 is the size. You don't want the container to be too small or fit like just right. You want it to be a little bit bigger. For me, and my priority being convenience, I just want to throw something into a container. I don't want to be playing Tetris. I don't want to have to maneuver everything in a very certain way. The second tip is choosing the right look of the container. There are a plethora of containers out there. There are clear acrylic bins, there are like fabric woven bins. You want to choose the container that suits your purpose. Opaque bins are really aesthetic when you sit them on a shelf because they hide all the clutter. But if you are trying to find something in those bins, it is annoying to have to look through and search and dig for the item that you are looking for. In comparison, acrylic clear bins, you can easily look at all the things that you have and pick something that you want, but because they're clear, you can see everything that's in them and it kind of looks cluttered. The bins that I purchased is a mix of both. I chose these translucent bins, that way I could have the clean, divided look that the opaque bins get while being able to see through them. Not only should you take the material of the container into consideration, you also need to take into account of lids. So the first kind of lid that I see is a snap container lid. All you have to do is like press down and it snaps into place. Those lids are great if you need to like easily pop them open just to grab something real quick and shut them closed. But I find that they're not very useful when you have to grab them and transport them, just because there's a chance of them unlatching and everything spilling out. The other kind of lids are those with latches on them. Those lids, on the other hand, are very sturdy. But I find that if I want to grab something out of that bin real quick, I would unlatch one side, stick my hand in the other, and that would break off the other latch on the other side. So what I actually purchased for this closet, it's a single latch lid. So it has the durability for me to grab it and carry it wherever I want to, but because it's a single latch, I can easily open it, stick my hands in, and then close it real easily. The next step is to organize everything. So the closets are on 2 walls, and I want each closet to house a certain type of supply. Moving left to right, I'm going to designate a closet for costumes and dancing props, a closet for arts and crafts, a section for office supplies, and then a section for outdoor games and activities. The best tip I have for actually organizing and moving around these supplies is to put your most used items in arm's reach. And then anything else that you don't use as much, put either on the very top or on the very bottom. And that's basically what I'm keeping in mind as I organize all of these supplies. I just want to jump in and say that I actually moved stuff around for this closet. I put the bin of small fans and I stacked it on top of the ties, and I moved the bin of fabrics over to where the small fans were, just because I wanted to keep that bottom area empty. I want to go ahead and move to the other side of the left wall. See right here, this is kind of like a shared shelving unit. So I tried to push all the dancing props a little bit to the left so I can at least use some of this space on the other side. We use these mirrors to dance, and I don't want anything to block any part of it. These hula hoops should go in here, but there's no space for them. So what I plan on doing is just putting them over here in the arts and crafts closet. I want to take 2 long nails and then drill 2, one up there, one in the middle-ish, to hang up these hula hoops, because I don't want anything on the floor. I'd rather them be hung up on the wall. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same technique as before. Anything that I reach for a lot, then I'll put it like in my eyesight or like arm's reach length, and anything I don't use a lot, I'll put on the bottom or the top, so I don't have to bend over or like tippy toe to grab it as often. I'm basically done organizing, but when I was organizing, I found that there are just a couple of more containers that I need to go purchase. But let me show you what I need to buy. So in this box, there are a bunch of like bean bags, and I want to get a see-through container like this, just because in the long run, if someone wants to come in, look for bean bags, and they don't see it, they might go ahead and purchase it. And then I also want to get a bigger container for the glitter rather than having the small container and have the possibility of it spilling over. Right below, I want to get a basket. If someone doesn't know where to put things in this very organized closet and they just don't know where it goes, I want to put a basket right here so they can just throw it in here, and then for later I can come in and reorganize it for them. For the clothes closet side, there is this empty space up here. What I'm thinking is getting a basket up there or some kind of container to hold the extra clothes hangers. Right now, I'm probably gonna go to Walmart to buy them and then probably go home because I've been here for like 3 to 4 hours and I'm kind of tired. Step 4 is labels. So when I finished organizing, I took a picture of each closet and I wrote down all the labels that I needed to make. The label maker that I use and I love is the Motex label maker. I love this label maker. It embosses the labels, so it imprints the letter that you want onto the tape. It also requires no batteries. This label maker also makes very cute fonts. Also, if you don't like the font of the Motex label maker, you can exchange the disc and swap out the font. Also, lastly, the Motex label maker is great because of the ASMR. The last step in this organization process is just doing the touch-ups. I'm going to hang up the hula hoops, and I'm going to transfer the bean bags and the glitter into the new containers that I purchased. with all that being said and done, here's the final look of the closets. So starting on the very left where all the clothing and dance props are. Here on the rack, we have all the uniforms lined up by size, and then you move into the lost and found clothing. At the very top, I put extra clothes hangers. Moving down, I put our most used props within arm's reach, which includes the Asian hats, the fans. I put the umbrellas at the bottom. And then we go into the arts and crafts closet. At the top, those are extra containers. And then moving down, I put all of our most used arts and crafts supplies, which include scissors, crayons, color pencils, stickers, our paint supplies, paper. And at the very bottom, we have items that we don't use very often. On the left-hand side, again, at the top, more arts and crafts supplies that we don't typically reach for that often. And then some pens, pencils, a bunch of glue and tape. Moving down our arts and crafts supplies that we don't use that often. I would like to say that the markers are right there and they are not supposed to be there, but it's okay. And at the very bottom, we have our catch-all bin. Okay, moving to the office supplies. At the very bottom, those are supplies very specific to our youth group. Moving up, we have decorations that we've accumulated over time. Then we have all of our paperwork. On the left is another catch-all bin. And then moving up, we just have more supplies specific to our youth group. In the very last closet is the games closet. At the very top, we have items for carnival games. Then we moved on to outdoor supplies, so tarps and beanbags. Continuing down, we have photos. I put the photos here just because it's right next to our bulletin board full of pictures. And then at the very bottom, just more game stuff, cones, and dodgeballs. So that's it for this entire closet organization. I hope these tips were helpful. I've organized a bunch of spaces before, and I've acquired all of these tips just because of all the mistakes that I've made in the past when organizing. So I hope these tips help you. All right, that's the end of today's video. Bye bye.